I'm going to start with our favorite company in the world, GameStop. They want to break into the game publishing development market with what they're going to call GameTrust. That's their platform.
So you can trust them more.
Yeah.
Because I trust them so much.
I would laugh if they make a game, put the wrong label on it, and send out millions of copies.
Yeah. I've never done that before.
No, never. Apparently there's a lot of red card Samsons out there that I've never seen before.
That's real limited. That's why you don't see them very often.
So, my question with this is it wasn't that long ago. Yeah, there it is. There's the.
It's a G and a T, by the way.
It is.
Yeah. There's the logo. So, the question I had when I was reading this to myself was, this company was on like the event horizon of filing for bankruptcy because the used sales weren't working because people were just buying new or they were pre-ordering. So when that happens, like they don't really get that big, they don't get any of the cut. So now all of a sudden they're like, now we're going to open up our own game publishing like company, and like they're working to try and get like, part of it is kind of cool. I feel like there's evil intent. Like, I don't know why. Because it's GameStop. That's why I feel that way. But they want to be able to have brick and mortar stores and online where independent people, independent developers can have physical copies of their games in stores for all platforms. Which, I'm cool with that. Yeah. Although, Steam's already doing that, first off. But it is only through their carrier. But physical? Everybody loves Steam anyway.
Physical?
No, not physical.
No,
download.
Physical media, yeah.
Yeah, only download. But, I don't know, like, I kind of feel like, because they, even in the same article, the guy that they're interviewing admits that physical sales have declined. So, now we're going to put our money in getting physical sales for independent games in our stores. So I kind of don't get where this is supposed to meet in the middle and make a giant profit.
I don't think they're trying to make a giant profit, but what I feel they're trying to do is breaking into game publishing so they can sell their own games to you from their own stores.
Which is great. I want GameStop games.
Well, that's what you're pretty much going to be getting. Because every time you buy any of these indie games, it's going to have, like, instead of saying, like, Atlas,
it'll say
whatever,
GameTrust publisher.
GameTrust, yeah.
Well, and this kind of reminds me a little bit of stuff that GameStop's done in the past, where they would actually go to distributors or publishers and order reprints of certain games.
Right.
They did this. Probably the most famous one is the Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii. Mm-hmm. Another one was Metroid Prime Trilogy. That's because originally when that was released, it was only Steelbook, and then they did a reprint that was exclusive through GameStop that just came in the regular white Wii case. They've also done this in the past with some Atlas titles too.
White Wii case.
That's how a lot of copies of Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne turned up all of a sudden. Everybody was like, this is, a pretty decently priced game, and then all of a sudden it just it was everywhere. You could get it, and it dropped down to like $20, I think, now. And this like I said, it's happened with a few other times. So everybody kind of thought that GameStop kind of was like controlling production on certain things. Mm-hmm. Now they literally are. Now it's not like major companies that they're working with. They'll be working with indie, but they could just decide, we're going to flood the market with this, or we're going to flood the market with that, because GameStop sometimes not so smart with how they handle things. So, I think they're going through an identity crisis right now. They want to
fucking hella broke. What do you?
They want to be
a pop culture store that sells games.
Yeah, that's
and
what
now
they
want to be a pop culture store that makes games and sells them.
They go from trying to make themselves not all about games. Like now we have phones, we have iPads, we have We have figures. We have.
And if you notice, though, the phones and iPad thing is starting to phase out because you don't see it as much in the stores. Now it's all just like statues and action figures and pops and all that stuff, which is also funny because now they're drastically marking all that shit down.
Yeah.
Like, I went in and they had the Zelda statue that I got for Jamie for Christmas. And I paid like $100-something for that there. Now they have it marked down to like $39.99.
Which one?
The Skyward Sword.
The Link one?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not the Ganon one. Still can't get that at a decent price anywhere.
I want that one so bad.
Fucking last time I looked at that, it was like $3.99. It was ridiculous. And I'm like, no, fuck you. It's the same size as all the other ones. Like, god damn it.
High? That's insane.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of stores that are doing the same thing. They're carrying all like the pop culture shit because it's what's hip. But when you walk in their store, you're like, you kind of don't expect all that other shit. Like, I seen comics on the wall. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing with comic books?
No, I completely agree. Because if you go to certain stores, you expect to see what you want to go in there and buy. Like, if I go to FYE...
That was a good example. That was one I was thinking of.
I don't want to go in and buy video games. I don't want to buy fucking... goddamn t-shirts. I don't want to buy pop figures. I go there for fucking...
For movies and music.
Or music. I rarely go there for movies, though, because their selection is honestly shit. But...
Sometimes, yeah.
I don't want to be buying all this other dumb shit everywhere.
Speaking of FYE, now that we got on the subject, what the fuck did they do with how they're... Like, you seen how... Like, have you gone into one recently?
The one at the mall?
Yeah, well, I don't know if the one in the Park City's doing the same thing the one in York did, but like they used to have the bins where they put the movies, and it was just like you could finger through it. Now it's on like these fucking stand-up rolly carts.
Yep.
It's like awkward as fucking shit.
It sucks. It's hard to like look for anything.
I haven't bothered looking for like I used to do it because like they would always do the buy two get one free like used movies, and that's how I got all the Jurassic Parks that way for like $8 and all this shit. Like I used to dig through that stuff. I see it now and I'm like, fuck you. Like I'm not doing
I actually
this shit.
went and I like tried to go through the shelves, and it took me like double the time that it used to, and I came away with less than what I used to buy. So it's like you're making it more inconvenient for me. That way you can put more giant displays of
dumb shit
that nobody wants to buy.
The one in the Park City Mall doesn't have those.
Well, I'm not talking just about pops. They have like a whole like section that's just Walking Dead stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's overkill with it.
Oh no, you should see the
like the Deadpool
Park City
table.
one.
Yeah.
The Park City one has like
Dude, that one has like
a wall of pops and then like this giant table that's like 4 tables combined loaded with pop figures.
They did that.
And they still have a fucking frozen island in there too. It's like
and they changed the way the inside of that looks, so now you kind of feel like you're in an abandoned factory that sells pop figures and t-shirts. And I'm just like, this is really uncomfortable to be in. There's no carpet, it's just like stone. I don't know why.
Oh, they took the carpeting out?
It's so fucking weird.
That is weird.
Everything was moved around too. It's just
well, that's another company that like had like identity crises several times through.
Well, after they got sued for making you pay too much for music and movies, they had to figure something out. Yeah. But so I don't know. If this is the one thing that GameStop actually stays to their word with, I'll be fine with it. Everything they've ever done in the past, they've always shystered around it. So I don't know. Don't fuck over independent game makers. That's all I'm asking.
It's so easy.
Because it's some of the best games right now are coming from
gullible.
the independent market. So, I'm sorry. There's like a handful of AAA titles that people like clamor over anymore.
Here's a question for you.
Dark Souls 3.
What do you think there's a difference between indie developers and homebrew developers?
Yes. I think because to me sorry, go ahead.
I feel a homebrew developer would be like us, making a game and releasing it for like Steam or whatever. Whereas an indie developer is getting closer and closer to being like a big company because they actually have
like a team and
a company and all that, which is fine because you can get a lot of good stuff from that. But like, I can't remember his name, the guy that did Meat Boy and whatnot. Mm-hmm. That's like him and I think maybe 1 or 2 other guys, and they did it just at home, and they still kind of do that, except they have a actual cast of people, and that would be an
Independent.
An independent development team.
Yeah.
Where, yes, they have a lot of people, but no, they aren't associated with any major label or company that sells games that would, like Bungie or anybody else, develop a game and then be like, hey, guess what? We're sorry, but the game wasn't fully developed. We're gonna sneak some stuff in this update for you.
Yeah, and like I look at it this way. I agree with what you guys are saying. When I think of one indie developer right now, I can't think of their name, but they're the ones that are developing Cuphead. That's going to come out on the Xbox One. That's the one based on like the 1930s cartoon.
Yeah, okay.
And they've been held back so much because they're an indie developer and they had things that they had to tweak with their graphics in order to work with the new systems, and because they got a deal, I guess now that there's going to come out on PC as well as, I think it's going to come out on Steam and Xbox, and I guess they had to do something different, so they had to redraw things, and I think maybe something like this with GameTrust might be able to help out an indie developer like that get the resources to be able to get this game out quicker, because I've been hearing about this game since E3 like 2 years ago.
It's saying it's coming out this year.
But that's all it says. It doesn't say what quarter or anything like that. It just says that it's coming. And I saw that they were redrawing some of the characters. So, I don't know. I also fear that, like, indie developers getting bought up, because I think of a few where they brought out a game and then they kind of, I don't want to say sold out, but they got picked up. They got picked up.
Just say sold out.
Yeah, they sold out like real big,
right
real big fish. They sold out.
I know who you're thinking
Who am I
about.
thinking about?
Mojang.
Yep.
And it's funny because
They created something that changed. Like, there was a genre that wasn't around, and they made their money. I'm gonna leave them alone.
and
Like,
Notch immediately left. Was like, well, thanks for the
yeah,
millions.
he's like, I've got all the money I need for weird hats. I'm good.
Rolling in that weird hat money.
I always find that funny because Microsoft still allows them to release some of the consoles, and
Yeah.
not.
Which is
You
interesting.
get the PlayStation 4 edition of Minecraft.
Which is interesting.
All it does is make a longer draw distance. That's all it is.
So, I mean, this could be a double-edged sword. It could be a good thing. It could be a terrible thing.
Well,
see
we'll
what
find
happens.
out.
I
In
get the
years
feeling
to
that
come.
what they're going to do is just get their foot into it so that they can, again, just try to make extra money by selling you the games that they're making twice.
Yeah,